So in today's video, I wanted to quickly go over how you can create your seamless patterns on the embroidery software that I mentioned last week. If you haven't seen the video where I kind of give you an overview of the software, I'll link it down below. Get started. So I have my sketch on here on the screen. So it's this fun pastel clown costume, and we're going to be making two prints. Okay, the first one is the striped with the balloon, and then the second one is the pastel polka dots. And so the first thing we're going to do is create a new page. And then you're going to go onto the pink square, my fabric designer, click on it. We're going to start a new canvas. And the one that you want to use for this is the tile, because again, that's the one that's going to help you create the seamless pattern on repeat. And you're going to get this little box asking you for the size and width of the square of the tile. And so I think I'm going to do the other one. I think I did 6x6, but you know what? Let's do 8x8. And put okay. And then I guess we can start with the polka dot one, just so I can go over some of the tools on here. And the first one is the one on top with the little pencil and like square and circle, the import artwork. This one has the pen that you can freehand write and draw whatever you want to draw on there. It also gives you some basic shapes that you can use for your repeat pattern. And so we're going to use the circle one. And then so you're going to start drawing your circles on here. You can change the colors in a little bit, but one thing I wanted to point out is that, so the way that it works on here is that when you put the artwork right on the edge, it's going to automatically do it at the bottom in the same placement. And that's how it's going to help you create the repeat and make the pattern look seamless because of that. So let's copy and paste another one, right? You put it on the left, it's going to copy and paste it on the right. Again, in the same placement. So if you guys remember last week, I told you guys that you can go on to preview and we'll show you your seamless pattern. So you can kind of get an idea if you need to add more or you want to change the placement, right? And double check that things are not overlapping. You can open up the preview. Anyway, so I think I'm going to add another one. And I think I might should we do like two different sizes of circles? Maybe we should, huh? So yeah, if you put it in the corner, it puts it in the other corner. So let's open up the preview. See? And I don't really like how it's really close together. So I think I'm going to move that around. You can keep it open as well and see it how it updates. So yeah, play around with this. Happy with the size and the layout of my circles on here. And one thing I wanted to quickly mention before we change the colors and show you how to do that, let's go back to our canvas and tile, right? The size box. So I ended up resizing and going up a couple inches, so 12 by 12. That's my new tile size, okay? One of the things I realized is that even though I made the tile bigger, it didn't automatically resize my artwork. I had to do that by myself. And so I just wanted to give a disclaimer that, let's say right later on you are done with your artwork, right? And you realize that you want the artwork to be bigger on the fabric. Yeah, just keep that in mind that on here, it doesn't automatically resize it. When you change it on here, it would just change like the square outline. Everything else within the square, you would have to do it yourself, okay? Anyways, okay, yeah, pretty happy with this. Okay, so now let's go on to selecting colors from the color palette at the bottom, okay? So the way that it works on here is really interesting. I don't know if it's good or bad. You're just gonna have to like get kind of like used to the way that it works in the software. So the program automatically gives you up to 29 colors, but again, it's kind of like random unless you used some of these in the past. I think it would save them first, but like again, it's like random colors that they give you, so you can't remove all of them and kind of start making your own color palette on here, or you can just add and have the software give you some random ones, okay? And again, you have up to 29 choices on here. And let's say that you're not happy with none of these, right? You would select the number. You're gonna left click and then you're gonna get the palette option where you can go in and choose another one and put okay. Another thing I wanted to mention about the color palettes is that they are going based on the thread companies and their color palettes that they have. Again, this is an embroidery software, so keep that in mind. So you're using their colors and the colors that they sell, which I thought was kind of cool. But anyways, so so I have light yellow. I'm happy with my color. So on the palette, we can start changing the color on the circles. So I'm going to select the object, right? And when you go down to your palette, you're going to right click. Remember that, because I keep forgetting and clicking left, but that opens up the palette for you to change the colors, right? So select the object and right click. Select the object and right click. Okay. Another thing I wanted to mention is if you look at the little artwork box on the right corner on top, if we zoom into the artwork, you can see that there's like a blue outline on the circle. I don't know why there's not an option for us to remove us not having an outline. However, though, we do. So when you click on the object, you would just press equal and it will transfer like the color number from your palette on the bottom to the one on the stroke color. Okay, so again, select your object, press equal, and again it will change the color. So here's a yellow with the blue outline, press equal, and it will change it to the yellow that we have. So yeah, some things to just remember. And so yeah, let me quickly change the colors and I'll be right back. The last thing I'm going to do is add a background to my fabric. And you can, if you want to, draw a triangle, right, and extend it outside and it will repeat on its own. However, though, the quicker way is to go to your fabric designer, go down to color film, select your color by right clicking. But this time though, once you're in your square, you're going to left click. And then here is your filled in square. Also, you want it in the back, right? So you will go to your sequence box and select the square, right click, and then go to order and then to send back. So it's all the way in the background. And here is our polka dot pastel fabric, right? You can open up the preview again just to double check if you're happy with it. I feel like we did a pretty good job. It matches what I wanted to create on my sketch. Let's go ahead and save it as a PGN format. So you're going to go again to your fabric designer pink square on the right and press send. And it's going to open up this page where you can select the width of the fabric. So 56, 36, and 60. These are the only 3 options it gives you. I needed 42, but it's okay. We'll work with the 56. And we're going to export and name your fabric whatever you want. So polka dot pastel. And then I'm going to press save. And then I can exit that out. And then here is my print that I can upload onto. I'm going to use Spoonflower for mine, so I'll show you guys how you can upload it to Spoonflower. But yeah, pretty cool, right? So let's go on to the second print. So let me open up a new page. And then let me just be safe and save it again. So let's start a new page. And I'm going to quickly recreate this one that I already made. But I'll show you guys how you can import your clip art as well. So let's go to canvas. Again, we're doing tile. And I'm going to do, again, 12. Or you know what? I'll just keep it 10. Yeah, let's do 10. 10 by 10. And then, okay. And this time, I'm going to be using the rectangle shape to create the stripes for mine. And remember that it needs to go out so it can extend, right? And create that seamless pattern and repeat. So I'm gonna do, also I wanted to be on the other side like that. I think I'm happy with that, so I'm gonna copy and paste. Okay. You know what I just realized? We can use the repeat button for this one just because it's gonna be a stripe pattern. So we're not gonna be moving the stripes a specific way. So let's go ahead and select the object, right? The rectangle, your stripe. Go to the left corner on top. There's the T next to it. So you have this box with dots on it. That's your repeat button. Basically, it's going to evenly space out your object. And so technically, I don't need anything going down because the system is going to do it by itself. But we still need to keep a number. So I'm just going to keep it 1. And I think I'm going to do 6. Yeah, let's do 6. Space between them. I'm just guessing on here. So let's just play around with this and let's see what it gives us. Yeah, I think I'm happy with them. Yeah, or is it too spaced out? Oh no, we'll see right now. Okay, so apply, okay, and then here is our repeat pattern. So keep in mind, right, that you only need one on the corner and then it will repeat it for you. But I think in this, let's see, okay. Now let's open up the preview. And here is my stripes. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. Okay, so now let me just change the color on here. Okay, so I'm pretty much done with my stripes. The last thing I'm going to do is import my balloon artwork. And to be able to do that on here, you have to go to File, go down to Import Bitmap. I know it's a little confusing. You would think it would be the one on top. It's not. It's this one, so click on it. And then you're going to go down to where you have your artwork. Right here's my pink balloon. I'm going to open that and import that onto the fabric. And now I'm going to copy and paste and move it around my square. One thing I do want to mention though is that when you import your own artwork, it doesn't, like, you'll be able to see the square but not the shape. So just keep that in mind. And I think it's best if you open up your preview so you know that so you can kind of see how it's looking. So yeah, keep that in mind, that your artwork, it doesn't give you the outline, it just gives you like the square. I don't know, that's how it is. So yeah, let me play around with this and then I'll be right back. Print as well, I feel like it resembles my little sketch. And oh wait, we need to do the background. Oh my god, don't forget, just because in the preview it looks white, don't forget to add a background on here. So let me exit that out and let's go to color fill. White is selected, so we're going to drop that with the left click, and then you need to move the artwork back, send to back, and then here it is. You can tell that you added a background because outside it has the little squares, but here it's all filled in. So again, open up your preview, and yeah, I'm pretty much happy with this. So let me save it, just to be safe, and then we can export it. But yeah, we're pretty much done. I think, you know what, let me show you how I would upload this on Spoonflower. But yeah, we're pretty much done. That's how you create a seamless pattern. Okay, and here is our second fabric print that we just designed on the software. Okay, so both of them are ready to upload to whatever platform you get your fabric printed. Like I said, I use Spoonflower, so let me quickly show you how I would upload this. Basically, if you have an account, right, you would go to upload your design, and it kind of gives you some info of what they recommend. So choose your file, and then polka dot, and then here it just tells you, right, that they just want to confirm that this is your artwork, right, that you're not stealing from nobody else. So agree and continue. Proof the image, just to verify that everything's good. They're asking you here that to double check the pink lines, right, and it's an assessment for you, and then you can move it around, double checking. It should be good though, like I said, because we use the software where it creates the pattern for us. But if you want to double check, go ahead, do all of that, and if it looks good, click on that. And the rest of this is more like if you're gonna sell the fabric on the marketplace, but you would just go down in fabric and then buy it. So here it is right now. I guess we're having a sale, and you could buy by the yard, swatch, quarter. So up to you what you need. And here it is, ready to add to cart and purchase. It's pretty much it. That's how you make and upload your fabric to get it printed for your sewing projects. So I hope you guys found this tutorial helpful, and stay tuned for I think the next video I'm gonna do is gonna be showing you guys how to create your cut and sew fabric. So that's basically how, let me see, I already have something similar on my store, so let me quickly show you. So basically I'm gonna show you guys how to create something like this where the garment's already on here, you would just cut it and sew it up, right? So we're gonna do something similar to this because, like I said, this is what I made on Illustrator, which is different, a little bit different than on this embroidery software, but it is possible. So yeah, stay tuned and I'll see you guys on the next video. Okay, bye guys.